Hi, our next lab is the Dragon Racer lab, and although we're working with the concept of friction and different surfaces again, students are measuring distance. So they are studying and they are going to model how different surfaces and how friction affects motion and acceleration. So what they'll need is, you guys will need 4 clothespins. We often use books as well for ramps. If their clothespin setup is less stable and some kids are struggling with it, depending on your students, you can easily make a ramp out of a couple books. You will also need a ruler. We use ones that have almost a ramp in it. It's got a bit of a divot, and that makes a perfect ramp for several labs. If not, we also use molding that is concave, and that way you can also make ramps out of that and use that for multiple labs. You can buy that at Home Depot, but I'm not using that. I'm just showing you the ruler that has the ridge in it today. All right, so what you will also need is a yardstick. We're going to measure in centimeters. Try to have your students use metric as much as possible, since it tends to be used scientifically more often. I gave you the template for the dragon. Have the students color them. They love this part. And even though they're working in pairs, I always have them each do their own dragon, 1 for engagement, 2 because they are hard on their dragons, and by the end of it, they might need that spare. So they cut out the dragon, and I know this might look a little bizarre, but yes, that is the dragon. Believe it or not, my 8th graders really get into this part. It's weird. All right, so what they're going to do is the dragon is placed at the end of the ruler / ramp, and the surface that they're testing on will be at the very end of the ruler or the ramp. Okay, on this one, vary your surfaces, please. Use what is around you. Although I'm showing you sandpaper and printer paper again and wax paper and foil, what my class uses is the tile on the floor, the carpet that is outside of our door, wood. If I have wood planks in my classroom, we use wood, and then we like to go outside or find an excuse to go outside, so we use cement and grass as well. So I would really strongly encourage you to do that, because it'll take them to surfaces that are different than the Wait a Minute lab. Okay? All right, so what they're going to do, they will just leave the Dragon Racer there, and they start at the top of the ruler. This is not timed, you're measuring. So wherever the dragon stops, even though he falls over, that is the stopping point. So your students will take the centimeters, and they will measure from the end of the ruler or the ramp to where the dragon stopped. Even though he tipped over, he stopped there. And then they run that trial 3 times and go on to a new surface, okay? The only tip I want to tell you about is sometimes the marble might, as it gets used, it might slip under the dragon. Run some tape here to reinforce it, and it'll be as good as new. Everything else you guys need, there is extension material on here as well. They will do some more application. And then, like I said with the Wait a Minute lab, please have them graph their results and create a graph in the end. That will also provide a great assessment for you when they are finished, and they can attach their little dragon on there as well and use that for their grade. Thank you.